History is commonly thought to be an inherently boring subject. Sometimes it's even considered to be useless. I am sorry to report that I was one of these people in class 7th who thought that history was completely pointless to study. But this is a great tragedy for the world of education, as history is probably the most important subject of our current curricula. As in our history, we gain learnings for the present and discern the recurring patterns of the future. So, to teach history in an engaging way and to fix it in the minds of students and learners is a great step for all of education. And that is precisely what the people at the Museum of Goa are doing, teaching history through innovative education programs. To speak more about innovative art pedagogy at the Museum of Goa, we have Ms. Sharada Kerkar.
Ms. Sharada is currently working as a senior project executive and is involved in the English and Digital for Girls Education project at DEF. After her graduation in economics from Christ University, Bangalore, her curiosity and desire to help in the developing sector led her to join the Gandhi Fellowship.
We invite you up on stage, ma'am. Please.
Hello everybody, my name is Sharada and I'm here to talk to you about the innovative art pedagogy that we use at the Children's Art Studio at the Museum of Goa. Many educationists across the world, including the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, believe that art is the foundation of education. In fact, many researchers even today will tell you that when a child creates art, they are the most free. Art is not just the foundation of education, but is the very foundation of human civilization. In fact, human civilization is born in the womb of art. Now, here, art connects people. Art has the power to change lives. Art inspires, art motivates. Art makes you think, art makes you question, art makes you aware. And most importantly, art builds empathy. In a country like India, about over 1.4 billion people, not many are connected with contemporary art. Only a few lakhs are actually connected. And that is the barrier that we try to bridge at the Museum of Goa. We at the Museum of Goa try to democratize art, try to make art accessible. We are one of the largest contemporary art spaces in the country, and we receive about 60,000 people every year. The idea is to democratize art, to make it accessible, to tell stories through art. We narrate the stories of Goa, Goa's history, Goa's culture through art. We have 200 artworks in the museum that have been created by Goan artists and Indian artists across the country. And each work tells you a story about Goa. Connecting students and children with art is not just an activity that we do, but we believe that it is our responsibility and our duty to do so. I would like to take you through a glimpse of what we try to do. It's our pedagogy and our curation that sort of brings art and storytelling together. What you see here are chilies created by Sharada Kerkar. And like most of you will be aware that Goa was ruled by the Portuguese. And the chilies were brought to Goa from South America during the Portuguese rule. And here you see that Goa became the gateway for chilies. Until then, India did not have chilies. And here we've used truck tires to create this artwork. Here you see another important Goan artist called Pradeep Naik, who's created pav, which is the bread. And a poder, who's the bread man who sells pav to local houses in the morning, stands there. To bridge this story together, Subodh's created a work here, which is a katraso pav, which is one of the 5 bread varieties that you find in Goa. And the artwork has been created using cycle tires, because the poder goes to each house in the morning to deliver the bread. This one is my favorite. This is called the marine icons, where the sculptures, metal sculptures, were immersed in the sea for 3 to 4 years. And over time, you saw that the oysters took over it. The artist usually creates these works, inspired by the sea. But in this work, you see that he collaborated with the ocean. Half the work was created by the artist and the other half by the sea. We create a lot of such art mediations programs in the museum, and the museum almost takes the shape of a classroom. But out of class, we also do something called beach installation, which is one of the most famous and fascinating programs for children, where we take the children to the beach and we make them participate in a performing art installation where a drone from the top actually shoots them. And I would like to show you a little video about that. Audio, please. Okay. So, from art... Art workshops, like I mentioned, can you go ahead and show the video, please? The next video. Yes, ye wala. This is clay, and we use different textures to sort of create a sculpture that is then baked and given to the students. Another one, next. There are 2 more videos, just keep playing. Next. Next. Yeah. This is printmaking. Next. Last one, yes. This is stop motion animation created by 6-year-olds. We club all of these components together, including art lectures, wherein we expose the children to the world of art through presentations and art talks. Here you see this Anish Kapoor, who's created this large stainless steel cloud gate. We have Andy Goldsworthy, who's a land artist and who creates with natural materials. This is not Photoshop. This is created with natural materials and leaves. This is an artist called Oliver Ellison, who brought these huge tons of ice cubes, ice blocks from the Arctic, and then transported them to Paris and London so that people get a chance to listen to the crackling noise and get a tangible experience about global warming and climate change. You see that this is an artist called Christo and Gian, who covered the parliament in Berlin with just just wrapped it up completely. And thousands of people came to actually watch it. They covered the entire coast in Australia, and they put a large curtain in the valley of Colorado. I won't show you this video because we don't have much time, but okay, this is another Italian pianist who actually is in the Arctic and playing music for climate change. Our packages contain all of these components, and we have like half-day programs that move on for 1, 2, 3, and 5 days. But the idea is to sort of expose children to the world of art, to encourage them to just create, and to let them explore all of these techniques and processes that maybe sometimes you don't get to do at school. I'm going to end by this picture that I've taken from The Little Prince, where the author says that, are you afraid of looking at this artwork? And he's a child at the age of 6. And the grown-ups and the adults say, why will I be afraid of a hat? And the child just wonders that every time adults needs explanations. And he says, I've not made a hat. I've made a snake that has just eaten an elephant. And he makes the second drawing and says, why don't these grown-ups understand? And I feel that, we often must accept that as grown-ups, we may not be able to understand what a child is thinking, may not be able to understand what the child is imagining, and we should use this opportunity to step back and also reconnect with our inner child. In fact, the author of The Little Prince also says that, all grown-ups were once children, but only a few remember it. And I think that And I feel that with this, children don't really need our directions. What children need is just an environment that's encouraging and supportive. And I invite each one of you to visit the Children's Art Studio and the Museum of Goa so that we all together can build this environment, this space that nurtures free expression and creativity. Thank you so much.